A friend, Heather Haviland, she told me about it and said I should sign up with her. So I did. She said there's a lot of support because, you know, there's people obviously on every lap. So she said it's a fun one to do. So I thought, why not?
So what was the race like for you today?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. It was interesting for me. I usually don't run a lot of open running races. I usually do them in triathlon. So it was interesting, but it was enjoyable.
What was sort of the highlight of the day for you, or the race?
The highlight of the day. Probably seeing my husband and friends cheering me on. I felt pretty good and pretty comfortable through the whole race. The last 2 miles started to hurt a little bit. And then the last little bit, my husband and friends thought they'd play a little joke on me, and they told me that the female was right behind me and I better kick it in. So the last lap around, I really kicked it in and made it hurt. And then they're like, haha, thanks a lot, but I guess it pushed me, so it's good.
Awesome. So what was it like, kind of like having to pass people all the time and kind of constantly being able to keep tabs on where you were?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but for the most part, everyone was very courteous to who was in the fast lane and moving out of the way when you yelled track, so that was nice. I was a little worried about that, but it went well.
Yeah. Would you come back and do it again next year?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.